Hey everybody, welcome to another installment of Brad Cook Stuff. So, this week, I decided I wanted to try to revisit something that I did a few weeks ago. At the time, when I was in America, I was looking to make some sort of soup, but it ended up as a ragoût instead, which, by the way, was probably the best thing I've ever made. However, I really didn't give up on the idea of making a soup. So, this week, I'm going to use some of the things that I got at the South American market a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to make myself a nice soup. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the ingredients and see what we're working with this week. Here are the ingredients for this week. We're going to start with my go-to. I've got my negashio broth and some celery. I've also got a couple of potatoes and a red onion. And finally, from the South American place I went to a couple of weeks ago, some white beans and some Peruvian sausage. Let's go ahead and start with the beans. Those are going to take the longest. All right, that's both pouches of my broth and 1 cup of white beans. All right, according to my cooking mentor, I need to cook these for about an hour. Let's go ahead and get this started, and I'll be back when it's time to add something else. Of course, while we're going ahead and simmering this, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of adobo seasoning, all right, just for flavor. There we go. Well, that should be enough. And we're going to put in a couple of bay leaves. All right. So while my beans are cooking, I figured I'd go ahead and chop up the celery and the red onion. I chopped up the celery and the onion, put it in a bowl. Let's go ahead and do the sausage next. Astute viewers may notice that this is actually the rest of the sausage from last week's dish. But I went ahead and cut it up, put it back in the container. We'll put it back in the fridge because the beans still have a little while to go. One drawback to such a small apartment is that I really just have the one burner. The beans are basically done. I've moved them into the sink for lack of a better place to put them. But next, we're going to go ahead and cook up the sausage, red onion, and celery. So I've got everything on medium heat, and honestly, it smells really good already. I put a little bit of adobo seasoning on top, but really, all of this smells delicious. I think this is coming along nicely. I'm going to give it a little while longer. I want to make sure that this sausage is fully cooked. While all of that's cooking, I went ahead and peeled and chopped up my 2 potatoes. So as soon as it's done, we'll go ahead and toss them in with everything else. All right, I've been cooking this for about 20 minutes, and I think it's done. It smells amazing. We're going to go ahead and add this to the soup along with our potatoes. I've added my sausage, celery, and red onion to the mix, as well as the juice I got from it, and also my chopped up potato. I've also turned the heat back on. I'm going to go ahead and cook this for another 20 minutes or so, let the potatoes get nice and done. All right, it's been about 10 minutes, and everything smells great. I've been stirring it periodically, so we'll check back in about another 10 minutes. All right, it's been on the heat for about 20 minutes. Let's take one last sniff here. Man, that does smell good. All right, let's take it off the heat and try it out. All right, moment of truth. I have here a lovely bowl of soup that consists of negashio broth with Peruvian sausage, dry white beans, some celery, red onion, potato, a little bit of adobo seasoning, and a couple of bay leaves. I mean, how bad can it be, right? I mean, seriously, with all these ingredients, it has to be good. So let's take a smell of it here. Oh my God, that smells amazing. All right, seriously. All right, let's get a bite with a little bit of sausage and potato with a little bit of red onion. Oh, check that out. Oh my God, this is right off the stove too. It's really hot. All right. Okay, that is really flavorful. Like, really flavorful. Like it's jumping off the spoon at me here. All right. Now, let's get some with some of those beans that I picked up. After all that work, man, might as well try the beans, right? All right, let's see. So the celery and onion gives it a little bit of kind of a crunch to it. Those beans and potatoes are nice. There's some good protein and starch put in there. And that sausage, man, that is really what makes this soup. Plus, of course, all the seasoning I put in there. I am going to have one more bite that's really just a piece of this sausage. Obviously, this is really good stuff. All right, so let's try it. All right, so what you've got here is an incredibly flavorful and hearty soup.
The celery and red onion are your vegetables. The beans and sausage are your protein, and the potatoes are your starch. The whole thing is really delicious, and you'll notice I didn't add a pinch of salt. I just added some adobo, the bay leaves, and the negashio broth, and that had plenty of seasoning in it. Anyway, as you can see, I have a whole bunch of this left. This is dinner tonight, and I have a lot left, so I've got plenty of this for later. As always, I appreciate you guys stopping in, and we'll see you in the next video.